Lizzie got some Highland cow feed. It seems to be working. Not. Well, we've arrived at Glenmore campsite, which is right near Loch Morlich, at the foot of the Cairngorms, and yeah, it's still really windy here, but it is so beautiful. Bentley absolutely loves it. He's running around like mad in the water. There, you can see him.
It's so nice that the sun has come out. It's made such a difference.
Yeah, it has. It's so much warmer.
Yeah.
We're a bit more protected around this edge of the loch, but yeah. It's good, isn't it?
It's really lovely.
Nice little campsite, and yeah, a bit of exploring to do. Here, in the wilderness, we see the native Californias hanging out. Trying to camouflage themselves amongst the trees. Yeah, anyway. Empty plates, we've had our croissants, pain au chocolat. This is the furthest point we're going now, so we've only got about 4 nights, I think. Yeah, 4 nights. So we're going to start heading south now. Yeah, and see where we end up, but bit of a shame, really.
Well, we're determined for it to still be a holiday on the way down.
Definitely, yeah. Going to head towards. Going to have a look at Pitlochry, which looks very nice indeed.
See if there's a fish run and Bentley can be a bear and catch some salmon for us.
Yes.
it's a bit breezy, but we're here at the Pitlochry Dam, and there's a fish ladder here to help the salmon get back upstream and past the dam, which is quite exciting. So we're going to try and find that so Bentley can catch some salmon, so I think he quite likes them. But this produces enough energy for something like 15,000 homes. That's pretty amazing. But most importantly, they've got a really nice visitor centre and cafe. Look at that. Now Sean's just getting the van ready, and that's us done at Pitlochry, and we've absolutely loved it. Bentley has really enjoyed looking in all the shops. He's tried to get in just about every single one of them, and I think it says something about us that he keeps trying to get in all the bars. That's a bit awkward. Anyway, he's loved it, and weirdly we got spotted by a couple of subscribers, which is really mad, and they had a beautiful Queen Golden Retriever called Ben, who was really, really sweet. So Bentley and Ben got to meet, which was really nice, but it's so weird when people say hello to us, but it was really, really lovely. And they've given us an idea of a campsite to stay at tonight, so we are going to stay there, I think.
Oh, it looks like Mummy's found a toy for Bentley. It looks good. Should we let her in then? Should we see what it is?
What have I got for you, monkey chap?
Oh, look at that!
Go get it! Go get it!
Where is it? Where are you going to go with it? He usually runs away, but then where can he run to? Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it. Oh, it looks like a moo cow.
It's a big ginger cow. So unfortunately we couldn't get in on the site that was recommended to us by one of our subscribers, so instead we decided to try out a Britstop nearby, and we're at a little visitor centre in Perthshire just off the A9, and we've been in and we bought a few bits because it's good manners on a Britstop to just pop in and spend a bit of money. It's just the idea that instead of spending like 25-30 quid on a site, you're going to potentially get a few goodies in a bar or a winery or a visitor centre, that kind of thing. So we got Bentley, a little highland cow, and they have actually got real highland cows here because they've got a little dog walk, which is amazing. You've had a nice walk, haven't you? So we got him a highland cow. Do you want to take your highland cow?
There's a little bit of noise from the A9 which should get a bit quieter as the night goes on,
Yeah.
but it don't bother us, it's free.
No, it doesn't bother
It's
us.
amazing.
Yeah, and then I've got a couple of stickers, one for the van and one for possibly inside the van. But amazingly, I was a bit early. I've got a little Scottish Christmas decoration. Don't lick it, weirdo. Little Scottish Christmas decoration. And I got one for my little friend Natalie as well, who's Scottish, and I think she's going to like it. So it's very exciting. He looks a bit googly eyed though, don't you think?
Lizzie got some Highland cow feed. It seems to be working. Not. Then just looking at you like, what are you doing? How'd you call a cow over? That's a horse.
Yummy.
We're getting there. She's getting a bit closer. She's wondering whether the grass is better.
You're ginger like me. Come on. Yes. Come on. Come on, beautiful girl.
Oh, here she comes. I thought she's just gonna stab you with her horns and say, "Oh, look! Oh, yummy!" You are gorgeous.
There's such a big mouth. Look at this. I know.
Look at the size of those horns.
Lots more. Lots more. Yummy.
What's your name?
You're so pretty. I want my hair to look like yours.
Took some persuasion, but very tasty. It was worth coming over, wasn't it? Look at your hand.
I know, it's coming.
There's some more coming. Hang on.
I know. What have you found? What have you found? Oh dear. It's a pretty cat. It doesn't want to see you. But I thought whilst I was here it would be worth mentioning a couple of things. First, that there's a really cool little makeup area here. So you pull the bed out a little bit and that means you can sit sort of directly in front of this mirror here, and then you've got a little shelf to do your makeup on, and the light's really good. I think it's really clever.
The light's really good in this motorhome. There's like 4 skylights, so it's just brilliant. Even if you want to have all the blinds shut whilst you're getting dressed, it's great having all them, 4 of them. In fact, there's 2 small ones like that, but then a big one, an even bigger one.
It's really good, and it means that also when it's hot you could just open them, put a fly screen across and let all the hot air out, which is really nice. But my second thing that I want to mention is about the towel that's on my head and the towels that we've just used for the shower. We've actually been using the shower on this motorhome quite a lot just to test it out, and we really like it. It's lovely and warm. But we were sent these just before we went away, and although it's probably not exactly necessary for the motorhome because you've got tons of space, shush, panty, you've got tons of space. These are like microfiber towels, so they're really lightweight, really thin, but they absorb so much water and they dry really quickly. And actually, the amount of space saving and the fact that they do exactly the same as a big towel does is amazing.
I think they're actually a bit better.
I actually agree. They do dry you really, really quick, and it's just a case of like putting it on yourself.
We were quite sceptical because with polishing the car, microfiber can be pretty awful on the hands, but these aren't like that.
These are like a super soft one, so they're really, really nice, and they're made by Gizo, which I don't know if you can see the label there.
There'll be a link in the description as well.
Yeah, definitely. But we really rate these. They're actually brilliant, and especially for space saving in something like a camper van. And they come in a range of different colours. This one's like a bath towel, it's huge. Look, these are exactly the same size towel, but look, they've both been folded in the same way. But look how much space the Gizo one saves compared to a normal one.
If you want to save a bit of space, get some of these.
Yeah. I don't know if we've said yet, but we're at a site that's called Hadrian's Wall Caravan and Campsite, and it's across the border, obviously, because it's near Hadrian's Wall. It's actually really close. It's only about half a mile up the road to one of the really cool parts of Hadrian's Wall. We drove past it on the way in, and it's a really pretty site. It's kind of similar, I guess, to something like the Stonehenge campsite. However, one thing I would say is we do seem to be very cramped here. It's sort of, I think they've tried to cram in as many people into a space as possible. we've been sort of put on this little ridge cornerway, and they tried to move us actually to be between a whole bunch of caravans, and I really mean it was going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. We decided we'd just stay here because we're paying, what, £26 to be here, so there's a lot here to see. There's a lot of nature, which is quite cool. I really like looking at all the ducks, and there's a whole bunch of ducklings going around. There's sheep just there, there's loads of rabbits, there's a cat wandering around too. It's really quirky. I do really love a quirky campsite.
It's quite nice when you're at the services to be able to use this space. Usually we've got the Cali absolutely full to the brim, so we can't actually use it at all when we're going to and from the site. So we're having some lunch, aren't we? Bentley's trying to eat everything that we've bought. So we've got some, because we've been to Scotland, we've got some whiskey and haggis crisps. I've just opened them, I've not tried them yet. Bentley wants to try them.
They're different, aren't they?
Yeah, they taste a little bit like, if anyone's been to the Jorvik Centre in York, they taste like what the Jorvik Centre smells like.
What do they make at the Jorvik Centre?
It's an old Viking museum, I think. I think it's a Viking museum. But it has a very distinctive smell, and those who have been will know what I'm on about. But yeah, so they smell like they taste, which isn't the biggest compliment. You can have them back.
They're also vegetarian. I don't really understand that. Did you know that haggis is a wee creature without a head?
No. Just smells like the Jorvik Centre.
Motorhome in a vineyard last night away, and we've decided not to cook, so instead we've got loads of goodies from a farm shop.
Yeah,
we've got a veritable feast, yeah, and it's Father's Day today, so it's Sean's treat. So
thanks, Bentley.
Thanks, Bentley. But yeah, this is lovely. This is amazing, and we are the only ones here. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but this is a Britstop. And we haven't even checked out the shop yet, but I can't wait to do that tomorrow. So there seems to be loads of shops here. And a wildlife centre. Loads of everything. Well, unfortunately, that concludes our Scotland trip.
Gutted is about the only word that springs to mind there.
Yeah, I think Bentley is as well.
It's been fantastic. It's been an absolutely epic trip. And one thing that really stands out is travelling in a camper van or a motorhome or anything like that is because you're in a different location every day, the 2 weeks feels like a month. It just goes on for so long because you look back at the time when we were in Glencoe wild camping, and we're like, that seems ages ago. So yeah, which is really great. It really does feel like a real long trip, doesn't it?
I'm so glad though that we managed to finish our trip on such a cool Britstop. This vineyard has been amazing, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've just had some lunch. Like we said before, it's not about just trying to get somewhere free to stop the night. It's more about spending your money on more enjoyable things. So we've got somewhere nice to stay, but then we've also got a nice lunch out of it as well. So,
and it was really peaceful last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
What's your favourite bit of the trip been?
I don't know. It's one of two things. Either arriving in Glencoe, that wild camping spot, and just being like wowed at how peaceful and relaxing it was. Either that or in Mora at Sunnyside Caravan Park when we first arrived there at the beach. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I think Mora has been my favourite for sure. And what was really weird was the fact that the only reason why we went to Mora was because Bentley had to go to the vets, and a nice lady gave us a recommendation. So it just goes to show that even those really bad times can bring something really quite good about as a result. So we're really pleased with our trip. We've had a great time. We didn't get quite as far north as we were hoping to, but then
it takes a long time to get up through Scotland.
It does, definitely. Yeah, and you have to drive a bit slower in a motorhome.
Yes, yeah. The motorhome's been fantastic though. It's been great having all that space. It's a little bit different to a camper van. You can't, like Lizzie says, you can't drive as fast on the motorway because it just, it's a big old vehicle. So
you don't want to as well because it's so noisy if it hits a bump.
Yeah, they do. They're certainly a lot noisier than the kind of the metal shell of a camper van. But it's been good, hasn't it?
It's been really good, and we've really enjoyed having a fixed toilet and a fixed bed, and that's been really good to try out.
On the flip side, compared to a camper van, you don't really care what the facilities are like at a campsite. So, last couple of hours to head back now. Make sure you look out for the video that's coming of the full review, full tour of the Velee Advance, where you get a real good look at it.
And don't worry, if you've missed our camper van adventures, there's plenty more of those to come.
Yes.
And lots of exciting potential collaborations in the future. So
definitely, yeah. So stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for watching. We shall see you in the next video.
See you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.